I just found out that in the past 2 years, Luffy has invited a total of 24 people to join his crew, but 15 of them did not give him face and directly refused. If all these people had agreed to join back then, Luffy might have defeated Imu by now. We know the 9 who have already joined, except for Zoro, who joined right from the start without any conditions. Everyone else was won over by Luffy, risking his life. As for the 15 who did not join, do you know who they are? The first one is Crocus. At that time, the Straw Hat crew was still very green and desperately needed a doctor. Just so happened that Crocus had been Roger's personal doctor, so Luffy sincerely invited him to join. However, Crocus decisively refused on the grounds of his age. The second one is Gaiman, this 45-year-old guy who looks frail, but his charm is extraordinary. Both Buggy and Luffy, 2 of the 4 emperors, have invited him to join, but Gaiman could not bear to leave the animals on the island, so he gave up the invitation to adventure together. The third one is Vivi. Many fans thought she would become the 6th member of the Straw Hat crew. Unfortunately, due to her status as a princess, she couldn't join Luffy on his adventures. It's a pity that Vivi has not joined to this day, and it's unknown if there will be a chance in the future. The fourth one is Abyss, a little girl who ate the Whisper Whisper fruit, allowing her to communicate with all kinds of animals without barriers. Luffy was attracted by this ability and tried to invite Abyss to join, but was unsuccessful. Fortunately, the Straw Hats later got Chopper, who turned out to be the king of cost-effectiveness. The fifth one is Kung Fu Manatee. At that time, Luffy defeated the Kung Fu Manatee, and according to their group's rules, they were to follow the victor to the death. Luffy was already prepared to take the Kung Fu Manatee on board, but his crew members strongly dissuaded him. The sixth one is Kureha. Luffy saw her superb medical skills and wanted to invite her to join his pirate crew, but she had long lost interest in being a pirate and going to sea. Plus her vision wasn't good, so she couldn't see things clearly, and thus she refused Luffy's kind offer. The seventh one is Iceberg. In terms of shipbuilding skills, Iceberg is not inferior to Frankie at all. At first, Luffy intended to have him as his shipwright, but the other party is the mayor of Water 7 and could not possibly follow Luffy and his crew, so he refused right away. The 8th and 9th were a unicorn and a Trant. Just because Luffy saw 2 zombies who could drink at the turn of a corner, he was determined to bring them aboard. Fortunately, his crew members desperately stopped him, which dissuaded Luffy from the idea. The 10th one is Kinemon's lower half. That's right, Luffy just wanted to invite Kinemon's lower half to join his pirate crew, because that would satisfy his desire to cosplay as a centaur. After Kinemon was restored to whole, Luffy never again brought up the invitation to join. The 11th one is a centaur, the first friend Luffy made upon landing on Punk Hazard. Luffy generously invited him to come aboard his ship. Unfortunately, the centaur changed his attitude immediately after learning Luffy was an intruder. The 12th and 13th are Ace and Sabo. As a child, Luffy had already invited his 2 brothers to join him on his ship in the future. However, all 3 had their own dreams of becoming captains. Later, in the Alabasta arc, Luffy again hoped his older brother would become his crew member, but he was rejected again. The 14th one is Boss, a fire-breathing rhinoceros beetle over 3 meters in size. Since Luffy has liked insects since childhood, after subduing Boss, he issued an invitation to join. However, its owner was completely unwilling, clinging to Luffy's head and biting. The 15th one is Yamato. Initially, Yamato himself proactively proposed to become the 10th member of the Straw Hats, but Luffy was not very trusting of this person in front of him at first. Later, Luffy formally accepted him, but then Yamato no longer wanted to go with the Straw Hats. It's really quite a pity.